Welcome back to the Trader Vision 2020 video tutorial series. My name's Ed Carter. I'm the architect behind Trader Vision, and today's video will be covering managing trades. In particular, we'll be talking about placing orders, moving your stops, and analyzing both the market changes and changes to your risk reward for a particular trade. And we'll do that through an example. With that said, let's get started. I thought that today we would use a CZZ trade, Cozen Limited Class A, that I had laid out back in December. I have backdated the chart, moved it forward so we can't see the most recent month, but I put on this potential trade setup back here on the first day that we closed above this breakout level from the most recent run-up. So this run-up was the determining factor, and we consolidated since then. And then we finally broke out here, but we closed as a breakout, but we did not test and bounce. We test and closed lower and continued to consolidate until this day. So I had the order in place, and I will show that order to you on Trader Vision here. So I had the order in place, and I got a buy on the 20th of December at a $9.59 buy price. I had a set stop of $9.39, so I was risking 20 cents, and I was looking at $10.25, which was a fib target, as my first target, and $10.70 as a second target, $11.45 as the third target if we got there. So let's go ahead and march the chart forward. As you can see, we made our way up to that 23.6 fib extension here, and we kept going. We paused a little bit, as charts are prone to do. And then we went up. We almost kissed the 38.2, which is where our first target was set, just below, I guess a penny below. Almost kissed it here on whatever day this was, the 26th, day after Christmas. And then finally, pulled back and then ran up and kissed it on this day, which I guess was the 2nd of January. Well, not quite. I guess it was the 3rd of January that we actually kissed it and then backed off. So that's when we got our next order that we need to place. So we took out 10.25 on this day, January 3rd. Let's go ahead and place the order in Trader Vision. Let's go back to January. It was January 3rd. I'm not going to worry about the time right now. And we did sell 80 shares, 1/3 of our shares, at that 10.25 price. And at that point in time, when price is here, it's time to move that stop. We could have actually moved it a little bit before then, say move it to break even perhaps on one of these days. When we hit the 23.6, maybe that was time to move it up to break even. We still wouldn't have been stopped out, but we certainly need to keep moving that stop up. So I would have moved it up to break even here on, I guess about 12.26. I would have moved it up to 9.60. And that would have sufficed for a while. After price moved on up, let's go ahead and march on out a few more days here. We're getting close to our second target. We're still not quite there, but it's time to probably move that stop up again. Probably in along these days. Someplace in here, I would have moved it up to about that 23, about that 38.2 level when we get up here to that 61.8. So probably just less than this. Let's call it, oh, let's call it 1020. Why not? So we would move the price up to 1020 at that point. So we're locking in more of our profits as we go and just letting the plan work. Still looking for a next target of 1070, and then we're looking for a target of 1145. Back to the chart, we'll let the day progress. You can see that we just about got there on this day. What price did we actually get? Yeah, we got 1071. So on this day, the 19th, it looks like we might have triggered that order that was sitting there. And so we would record that as well. Again, we go back here to the 19th. At this point, we've been in for almost a month, and we've made a nice little profit off of that. I guess I can spread it out here so you can see, but we've made 6% at that first target and 10 2/3% at that second target, and we're still moving along. Squeeze that down so we can see. And at this point, we've got our stop up here, just in below this 38.2. So we're still keeping a reasonable reward to risk. Let's go back and march forward in time. Again, we pull back. We weren't quite stopped out, but we were tested a little bit. And then, bang. On this day, we finally got our third target up here. That was the 26th of January. And let's go back here. So we finally got this trade to work out in our favor on the 26th of January. We sold our last 80 shares. Theoretically, if it depends on how you manage, but you could have taken a smaller chunk off either at each stop or at the last stop, and let just moved up your stop and let the stop manage the last portion of it, stopping you out at some point. That's not how I trade, so this is how I ended up doing it. Overall, about a 12% gain on the trade, just over a month in the trade, which is fairly long for me, but that's what the trade looked like and how it planned out and how we manage it with Trader Vision. So at that point, we have in fact closed the trade, and we are good to go. This is another trade there. So that's an example of how you manage the trade, placing your orders and having Trader Vision record your adjustments as you go, so that when you come back to these records a month or 6 months or 2 years from now, you'll be able to see this is the chart that I was seeing. And in fact, we probably want to take an image of the chart. We can do that either with some tool like Snagit or Jeng. And you can see what I was looking at any particular time of the day, or of the trade. Let's save this, and we'll just call this CZZ as of 1/26/18. And then we would go back into Trader Vision. Is it the right trade? I don't know what it is. And we can attach that image here. There we go. And now we've attached that image, and if we want to get a little preview of it, we go sideways and we can see the preview of that image. And of course, we can attach one as of the entry date, as of the middle of the trade, and as of the exit date of the trade. And then we can get back in our head in terms of the adjustments that we made to the trade, the plan that we saw, when we were planning it out, and then how things actually worked out for us. So we have a look at the risk and reward that we were looking at up front and the risk and reward we actually got, because there's a potential you have a fill that's different than your requested order place or price. And you can get back into it and see what's working for you and what's not working. That's it for this video. In our next video, we'll be talking about the dashboard and watch list tools and how they can help us be prepared for our trading day in terms of knowing exactly what's going on our account and exactly what's going on with the charts that we are keeping an eye on. Until next time, I want to thank you for your attention and your time, and I look forward to talking to you soon.